Hey everybody, Jim Johnson here with Contractor Coach Pro and our sister brand, Top Rep, or brother brand. I think we should go with brother brand. I don't know that
I like brother.
sales rep brand, Top Rep. And Chuck and I were talking yesterday. And we're like, hey, we're getting a ton of questions. We're getting all these questions about our event coming up August 23rd and 24th in Philadelphia. And we want to make sure that everybody understands the difference between like early season top rep and late season top rep there, how we're positioning that, because there is a difference in what we do in sales. But before we do that, let's go ahead and see who all is out there right now. People are joining, getting logged in at this point. We'll give everybody a few seconds, but tell us where you're from. You can actually chat with us. You can, if you're watching on Facebook and those type of things, or YouTube or LinkedIn, there's all those different places. I think Facebook, you can actually communicate with us. And so make sure that you've allowed StreamYard access to your account. You can ask questions and those type of things. Chuck, why don't you tell us a little bit about like just what Top Rep has meant to you and why you're so passionate about it.
And Top Rep is, and Jim, you and I are very much the same. We've all been to these trainings all across the country from all different sales trainers. And, we wanted to build something that is truly the pinnacle of sales training. And we all love it when we can compete. And so that's kind of where you and I built this, is in that center point of where we can actually compete as sales professionals. We are the athletes of what we do, of the companies that we're involved with. We're the athletes. So what do the athletes like to do? We like to compete. So, when we look at Top Rep and what it means to me is success. The people that go across the finish line, the black shirts that get the opportunity to come back at any time for free to help us teach and train to increase their ability to be who they are and do what they do. But ultimately, it's all built around changing lives, changing the livelihoods of the people that attend Top Rep.
Awesome. So, guys, as you're listening to us, just let us know who you are, like maybe where you're located in the country, what company you work with, those type of things. That way we'll kind of get a feel for who all's here. But when we first came up with this concept of, hey, we want to do a sales training event, because it seems like all the events are about owners. Like we want to get owners in front of us because we want their money. And that's really what those conferences are about. And we want them to come in, spend their money with us. And they do want them to learn. There's a lot of great content there at many of these events, but there wasn't really anything for the sales guy or the sales leader for that matter. And we said, hey, we think we can do this and we can do it well. And combining your knowledge, Chuck, like extensive coaching, training, retail background, insurance background, my background with insurance, retail, having a company and running a company, thousands of reps, John's ability to sell and coach it, retail, so having a company and running a company. One of us needs to mute. There we go. If you can mute yourself, there you go. Perfect. Catching some background noise there. But we have so much sales talent here, so much sales skill, professionally trained that and real world experience, that we could teach them some things that would help them be more successful. Because this is really about the sales reps and their leaders. It's not about us or any of that kind of stuff. We want to see people's lives changed. And so we developed this flight plan. We coach people through that flight plan. It doesn't matter who they are, whether they're a rookie, a veteran, or somewhere in between. They're learning a new way and a new approach that is aligned with what they already do. It's not like we're saying, hey, you have to do this presentation exactly the way we do it. We're talking about what you're doing, how you're doing it, and why you're doing it throughout each phase of the sales process, which we believe there's 6 of those main phases that we're going through. And then what we're trying to accomplish, how to actually do that, and then why you're doing it. So when you walk away from the event, whether you can remember our exact words or you have a perfect presentation or not, you know what you're doing, how you're doing it, why you're doing it at the right time in the sales process, which has proven to be unbelievable in the results that we've gotten feedback after the event. So Chuck, tell us, like, you get a lot of that feedback. What does that look like to you?
I mean, we get feedback from people such as Anson Eldridge, Mikey. We get a lot of feedback from them. I get at least once a week, do I get something from the Eldridge guys, how it has literally changed the way that they do business, not just the success that they have, but how they operate. I mean, for them to see, stuff that I still do today, which is Power Hour. I mean, they have taken it to a whole other level. To see them, I learn stuff from people that we do business with a lot of times, that because they'll take it to another level. And I'm like, wow, you know what? I can turn up the heat on that too. I mean, it's really great to see. We see people with like D&M Roofing, how fast, they have changed the way they operate inside of their sales organizations, and the success that they have so quickly. And it's companies like this that I can go on and on and on and on. North Face, all these companies that have gone to that next level immediately. It's not one of these things where, hey, we're going to take it back, we're going to put this in place. They take it, they put it in place, and it's immediate.
So, it's funny because the one I really like is the feedback we get. They go, hey, I used that thing that I learned at Top Rep and it closed the deal. That was awesome. Like, it was easy. Like, wow, that really did work. And those are the ones that I go, wow, okay, that's making an impact. And then they take that, run with it, teach others. And it's been really good for the companies that come and attend. So, John, you've been MC for some of our events. You're going to be the MC for the coming Philly Top Rep. You experienced it in San Diego, got to kind of get the vibe of it, or Indy, right? It was Indy.
Indy, yeah.
Tell people what it was like. Like, it was your first time kind of seeing us do that Top Rep thing. What did you notice about the attendees and what they were getting out of it?
Man, I was fresh into Contractor Coach Pro and Top Rep world at that point. I think I was 1 week in, and that was my first real live experience. If I could give it one word, it's energy. Man, just everybody is completely devoted. Like, you're there for a reason. Somebody either yourself or your manager or leader invested in getting you there. And it's like you were saying earlier, Jim, there's a lot of trainings out there that are designed for the owner, for the sales leader. And while this does bring a lot of value to the sales leader, this is saying, hey, you, Mr. Salesperson, sales lady, salesman, sales lady, like, you have the ability to level up your game and see an immediate impact. So there's just so much energy that's brought to the event before we even get started. You know what I mean? And then once we get going, man, I mean, and the dog fights are by far my.
Well, tell the listeners what the dog fights are all about.
Well, so the dog fight, essentially, you can call them whatever you want, role plays, practice, but you're put into a scenario and you are expected to go out and role play a certain phase of the Top Rep flight plan, right? But it's called a dog fight for a reason, because you are competing. So inevitably, as you do a role play, the next person has a better clue as to, okay, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do this. So there's just so much competition around the entirety of it. But outside of the competition is just the learning aspect of seeing other people flex that muscle, right? That maybe they haven't flexed before, or they flexed a lot and they're really good at it. Like, you can learn so much from those, not only in the training, like while Chuck or while Nathan's speaking, but when you are in the breakout, when you're in, the dogfight, when you're in the dogfight, there's just so much learning that happens.
Yeah, that was intentional, because normally what you see whenever there's sales training going on is some role playing, right? Like, Chuck, we've done millions of role plays with people working for us, and it's uncomfortable. Like, we all know that, right? But it's the best place to practice. Like, I can practice there, and I don't have to practice on a customer and blow, lead money, that type of stuff. It's like setting money on fire when you're out there and you don't know what you're doing. You're learning on your clients, which is never good. So role-playing is an absolute necessity and should be done. But to make that thing effective, you add this level of competition to it, and people try a little harder. They work a little harder. There's this, I got to do a little better than the next guy, instead of just the one-on-one where I'm just doing my thing with my leader or my peer and there's no competition in it. It's more analysis, right? Like you're analyzing how they did and that type of thing.
Yeah, they listen better too, right?
Right. They're listening better. They're paying attention better. They're involved more. And so what we've seen, like Chuck, you mentioned a lot of the attendees taking Power Hour and putting it into their world. They're taking dogfights and putting it in their. United just reached out to me this week. They had their dogfight on Instagram.
Yeah,
like they were posting, and they came down to the final two, and they were competing, and everybody else there voted. So that thing is changing the way that they do things. And we have, very first comment we get, phenomenal. Like that's a big thing at our event. Jason Phillips, you are phenomenal for bringing that up. That was pretty cool that you're carrying that with you. And then we got one of our black shirts here. One of our rock stars, John O. Skeeters, is on.
Yeah.
That was a close race. It was a close race right there. And I really appreciate you being on here, John O. And hopefully we'll get to connect with you again at an event soon. So let's kind of talk about the differences just a little bit. Top Rep, what we've been doing, we've done 6 of those events. And those events are really focused on kind of the kickoff to our year. You think about what's going on. We're getting started. Sales guys are broke. They got to make some money, so they're excited to get out there and make some money. The buyer is dealing with a different way of looking at things. It's like, hey, I'm out of winter time. I'm going to do some updates to my home. There's not as much pressure from time and things like that, but they do want to get it done. They're kind of thinking home makeover and stuff like that, and doing some really nice things. Maybe they have some storm damage that needs to get repaired, and maybe there's a time quotient to that because the storm date's coming up. But it's just different. We're excited. It's a kickoff, and we do those events at that time for that reason, because that's what we're motivated by. We're motivated by getting some money in our wallets, helping some homeowners. The homeowners are motivated to get their work done, but there's not a lot of pressure to it at that point in time. But then when the year rolls around and we start moving towards that last quarter, and really like November, October, September, like those 3 months, it really bugged me. It was one of those things, like my sales team would go out and kill it in April, May, and June, just absolutely murder. And we would be top dog, just killing it, and everybody's doing great. And then July 4th rolls around, and it's a holiday, and everybody kind of takes off. We almost have a difficult time getting our rhythm back, getting that motivation back, because some things have happened. We've made some money, so we got a little bit of that fat wallet syndrome. That's what I always called it, was fat wallet syndrome. Like, I made some money, I'm good, I don't have to work as hard, which is something that we have to challenge ourselves to go above and beyond what we think we can do, and not for money necessarily, for maybe other reasons. And then the dialogue changes with the consumer too. They've kind of, we're going through summertime, it's July 4th, then it's vacations, then it's back to school. So things are a little bit difficult to get your rhythm back after that first holiday. But then everybody goes back to school. Vacations are over. Labor Day finished. And their mindset changes. They're like, hey, I've been procrastinating on that thing. I didn't get that thing done. I need to get it done because I got winter coming. That time of year where things are going to get sketchy, I need to resolve. And so the dialogue in our presentation changes, and we want to teach that at Top Rep Rush. We want to teach that. We also want to teach that sales leader group how the dialogue leading changes, how the motivation has now changed in a lot of cases. And it could be a couple of different things. I'm going to talk about one, and I'm going to have Chuck talk about the other. One could be, we've done really good. We're hitting our numbers, and we've made our money. Things are great. I'm all wonderful. And I kind of take a foot off the gas pedal a little bit, because the only thing motivating me is the money. Now, on the other side of the coin, something that could happen is we're not hitting our numbers. We have this reset, like, oh crap, we're not where we need to be, and we got to really press. So Chuck, talk about that one a little bit.
Well, when in either case, I mean, you're in that catch-up mode. You know that you're not pacing where you need to. You go through spring, just like you mentioned, you go through spring and you're like, all right, we're in there. And then everybody wants to go on vacation, including the sales leaders and the owners. And everybody takes the foot off the gas. The cat's away, mice going to play, whatever. And before you know it, you get into your fourth quarter, and you're like, oh my goodness, we're not pacing it anymore. And we got to get there. And hopefully you figured it out towards the end of the third quarter that we need to really push this gas hard. And so when we look at the understanding of what we need to do the fourth quarter, it's the last quarter mile. And you get to see what your team is truly about, but you also get to see what that sales leader is truly about, because it's easy to aim that boat in calm water. But now that we've got it's rocky and we still have that nut to hit, you're about to see what that sales manager is made of, and we can help them with that and help them understand what that means inside a top rep.
So that's what's cool about Top Rep is the way it's designed is Chuck and I, we present on a phase that we're going through, you know, whether it's that early pre-flight check or the systems check or the takeoff, we relate it to a plane flight. We talk about it, then we kind of role play it a little bit from the stage. And then we send the sales guys off on their track, which is those dogfights that John mentioned earlier. And they're going in and doing that. But while all of that is happening, we're over working with the sales leaders on their own learning track. And what we want to do at Top Rep Rush is we want to talk about how that dialogue between you and your team and how motivation changes based on those two factors. Like, did we get fat wallet syndrome? How do I get my guys going? Are we behind pace and we got to catch up? What do I got to do there? So there's going to be some tools. There's going to be some coaching for you sales leaders on how to go back and drive that thing across the finish line at the end of the year. And that's why we call it Top Rep Rush. It's like that rush at the end of the year. And my goal as a owner of a contracting business, I wanted that time of the year to be just as good as the first time of the year. And I learned some tricks. I kept fighting and working at it, and I kept trying different things, and they weren't working the way I wanted. But we created something that we want to share with you guys at Top Rep Rush that will amp that motivation up, and they'll quit worrying about whether they made enough money or not, or too much money, and they'll be like, oh, I'm on this. That's what I'm focused on. Taylor Amos says, can't wait for Philly. Mike O'Connell on here. Thank you, Mike. Mike's with Moment. He's one of our sponsors. We love those guys. They make financing so easy. It is ridiculous. And he is one of the best at teaching financing. And he's actually at the event. He comes and he teaches a section on how to sell financing, which simplified it enough that even an idiot like me can get it, which was great. And I learned a lot from Mike. So that's another thing. Our sponsors like Atlas, Engage, Marlamar, Get the Referral, Moment, they do a lot of the teaching too, especially in those leader tracks. They're not pitching you their product. They're teaching you something about how to position that particular thing in the right way to be successful. And it's worked really well. Rocky, good to see you as well. And Facebook user, I don't know who you are, but it says they do. Yeah, they're absolute rock. So I cannot wait to see you guys in Philly. So that's a little bit of it. We come into those dog days of summer. We got a little bit of fat wallet syndrome, or we're in catch-up mode and that type of thing. Buyer motivations have changed. So while we still follow the same framework, the wording shifts, the closing techniques shift. And like Chuck always says, we're one technique away, right? One technique away from moving from the middle of the board to being top rep. So we want to teach those techniques at Top Rep Rush. Yeah. Should we show them what like the winner's going to win?
Yes.
I brought it today. I'm super excited about it. I cannot wait. Oh, it's John Kinsella. All right, good to have you, John. So it's cool because it like comes in this fancy little box, and you open it. It's so fancy. It's got like foam and stuff and all that on it. But yeah, he says yeah. Let's show it to me. All right, so that's the belt for Top Rep Rush. PA 2022 Top Rep Champion, and this is what we're fighting for. And we have had veterans win it. We've had newbies win it. We've had like the person that goes in and shows that they got game. They're learning what it is that we're teaching. John Gonzalez like, get out. All right. It is. It's pretty cool. I'll shoot some video on with it later. I'm not gonna take it out of the box just yet. We're pretty excited about it. Our team did a great job of like stepping up our game on the belt, and we're excited to give that out to somebody.
Hey, Jim, I want to share with you. John sent me a message earlier this morning, and John, I know you can see this, but he's 75% closing this month using Top Rep.
Boom! That is awesome. Way to go, John. That is. We got a woo, Ric Flair. Yeah. All right. These belts are a lot of fun. The guys in the top 10% get what we call black shirts. It's the only way to get a black shirt. We don't sell them. We don't give them away or any of that kind of stuff. They have to be earned. We got something special for those guys too at this next event that we're going to give in addition, but I don't want to give away the surprise on that. But at this event, this idea of who should come, because sometimes when you hear competition, top rep, things like that, I'm sitting out there and I'm putting myself in the shoes of the owner. I'm like, I'm sending my best guys. That's who I'm going to send. I'm going to send my best guys, and I want them to do well. So we see a lot of owners that send like themselves, a sales leader, maybe one or two reps. And Chuck, what do they say after the event? Every single time they like brought out, they brought those people and they got all done. We like, hey, what'd you think? I mean, that was awesome. But
I wish I would have brought my whole team out here.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Yeah, it is something that we get over and over and over again. And that's what we see happen too. Like they come to one, it's a little small group, like, hey, we're going to go check this out and we're going to go win this thing. And then they realize the value of what it is that we're sharing, how it's going to change the lives of those sales reps. And they go, man, I wish I'd have brought the whole team. So then the next time they bring the team, right? That's what happened with Eldridge Roofing, and they blew their numbers away. And we want to do that for everybody. So who should attend? We've got rookies, we've got veterans, everybody in between, sales leaders and owners. That's who should come to Top Rep. Now, salespeople, whether they're a veteran or rookie, are going to be on their own track. And then we've got sales leaders and owners that will be on their own track because we have different responsibilities in our business. We want to share with you guys how to get the most out of yourself as a salesperson, how to get the most out of your team as a sales leader. And we believe that what we share with you makes a pretty dramatic difference. We got lots of comments going on here. All Chuck's fault. That's what I heard. So go check out all Chuck's fault on closing 75%. All right, that makes sense. I can understand that.
I'll take blame for that.
Yeah. So one thing that we do that's a bit unique about how we put this event together, we found something about the industry, and when we're contractors, we tend to be procrastinators, which is what we don't like about our buyers, right? Like we don't like them procrastinating. We like them to go right away. And so we get this really nice venue with all of this AV stuff and this huge production thing. And we're wondering like, hey, what's happening here? And sure enough, the last like 2 weeks is when everybody signs up. So we wanted to shift that dialogue a little bit and give you guys some incentive. And this is like the reason we're doing this is kind of teach you a little bit about selling. And so if we can give some incentive to get somebody to do something sooner, maybe they should earn something in reward. And so what we've done is we said, okay, we're going to start at this price. I think it's $649 or $697, something like that. And every 2 weeks, we're going to raise the price until we get to the final price of $999 to attend the event. So the sooner you sign up, the more money you save, incentive to get somebody to do something now. You create need, you create fear of missing out, you create all that stuff. And it's exactly what we teach in those type of things in our event. So we want to give you guys some incentive today. We want to let you know that, hey, our prices go up every 2 weeks. So you want to get signed up as quickly as possible, but we're going to give you even more incentive. We want to give you took time today to listen to this, and we want to give you an extra $100 off per guy. So whatever the price is today, you're going to take $100 off of that with a coupon code. And that coupon code, you want to write this down because I don't think I can type it in. Maybe I'll post it in a comment and see how much of it goes out there, because it doesn't go everywhere on people that are listening to this, because this is on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, everywhere. But the code is RUSH100. Save you $100, RUSH100, type it into the coupon code, save yourself another $100. and it works for 2 hours after this event. I think it's going to go till, I think we gave a little grace period to 7 o'clock. So go get signed up today. Don't miss this event. If you want to blow your numbers out of the water in the last quarter, get over the goal line, finish strong, win the championship, any of that kind of stuff that you want to associate with it, because that's how I looked at it. Like, hey, we're here to win a championship. This is a competition, and we got to push that ball across the goal line at the end and win the Super Bowl. And so that's why we call this Top Rep Rush. It's that 1 yard dive over the 1 yard line to finish stronger than anybody else is. So you got a choice. You can stay where you are and follow the cycle, or you can join the growing ranks of top reps out there, changing the game and changing their lives. We've had so much feedback about this, about how much of a change it has made for an individual, for a team, for a company, for a leader. We want that same change for you guys. So my question, you guys watching this, I know there's viewers out there, but they're viewing in different places. Who's in? I already got one. We already got one that says, hey, I will see you in Philly. That was Taylor Ammons. Great job. Can't wait to see you there, buddy. But who else? Who else is like, hey, I'm going to get better for 2 days. It's hot outside anyway. You don't want to, like, perfect time. It's a Monday and a Tuesday. So, hey, those aren't the best sales days anyway. So where do we want to go out there and get a little bit better? Who's in? So just post in there, give us a little feedback, say, yep, I'm in, I'm going to go get it. I'm going to use Rush. I'm sending some of my team. Good. I think that's Kinsella, because I keep seeing Facebook user. Maybe it's him, maybe it's somebody else. We didn't give access to Streamyard to his Facebook profile, but that's cool. That's great. Use that coupon code today. Save yourself some money, because it'll save you off of the prices today, which I think sets it back to the early bird pricing. Each week, each 2 weeks, it goes up, and it will continue to go up. We will not pull back off of that. We're not going to give you some kind of special discount at the end or any of that kind of stuff. We might do a coupon code here and there, but it's Justin Briggs. Hey, yes. All right, brother. Briggs Construction Briggs Roofing out in Idaho. Can't wait to see you guys there. It's a great event. You've actually sent people before, and so that's proof in and of itself. Like, hey, that thing works. I'm going to send some more people. Cool to have. So we're here. I'm going to throw a couple of links in there so you can go and get this done. There's been several people that are posting, yeah, we're in. So I am going to give you the link right here. And Jake Dempsey said, hey, wait, I'm in Idaho. Hey, Jake, what's up, brother? It's been a while. So the first link I just shared is the link to the site to learn more about Top Rep and what we do and how we do it there. This second link is like, hey, I already know all that stuff. I'm in. I want to go register. There's your registration link. You guys should see it in the comments on Facebook and YouTube. I don't know if it drops into LinkedIn or not, but if you need it, just message us on LinkedIn, and we'll get it taken care of. We're here, right, Chuck?
We're here.
Should we do a little coaching?
Let's do it.
So we said we'd do some Q&A today. What do we got? What are our questions? What are we struggling with out there in sales? What's the things that are getting in your way? Like, throughout the season, different things come up at different times. Hey, if you're a storm guy, hey, we don't have that great of a storm, so what should I do? Hey, we've got a storm and I'm super busy. What should I do? Hey, I'm in retail and I'm not closing the way I'd like to close. Where do you think you're missing it, and what can we help you with? So post those comments. Ask those questions. If you're watching this later today, post the comments. We'll be paying attention, and we'll answer you through the comments, but we'd like to answer you live right now. Put us on the spot, see if we know our game. If it's a closing thing, if it's an objections thing, if it's a timing thing. I saw this cool thing that salespeople go too fast. That's what they do. They go too fast. They're always pressing the gas and running 1,000 miles an hour, and they're trying to get through a presentation as quickly as they can to get to the next one. And it was pretty cool analogy that I saw. It was like the race car. Like, hey, how can I be the fastest and get to the finish line the fastest? And really what we need to do is slow down a little bit. Slow down and be problem solvers, consultative selling. Because how about you guys out there that are in the sales world? Do you like somebody hard closing you and pushing and drawing and that kind of, like, do you enjoy that? do we think that our customers enjoy that?
Absolutely.
That's the beauty of Top Rep. It creates this dynamic that it's just logical to choose you. It takes all the guesswork out of it, and you go, hey, would you prefer to pay cash or finance it? Can we get you on the schedule this week or next week? And you ask them a question and you shut up. Amazing. They just pick up the pin and go. It's super cool to eliminate those objections, to put yourself in that objection. I'm selling my home. Why should I install the roof now versus let the new owner do it? Chuck, I think that's on one of our cards. You want to handle that one? That's your wheelhouse. Let's go.
You got to understand, when you have someone that has a house for sale, you got to get them talking. There's many times where I'll pull up with another sales rep and they're like, oh, this will take 15 minutes because they're thinking that the homeowner just wants a number to use for negotiation. And sometimes that may be the case, but most of the time you got to bring out the why. And so when you get up to the homeowner and you ask them, say, hey, I noticed that you have a for sale sign in the yard. What is it that you're looking to get out of this visit? And let them tell you. I mean, they may come right out and tell you, I just need a number so I can give to my realtor. But most of the time, they're going to say, my realtor told me to call you. Well, if your realtor told you to call me, then that means that we need to get this thing done. Because what typically will happen is if you wait and you let someone look at your house that has work that needs to be done, they're going to add 50% to the cost of what it actually will take to get that job done. Because now it's like a convenience fee. You're not
that $20,000 roof just came $30,000 off the price of your home, right?
Right.
And so, 100% agree with you. And that's the consultative side of it. So many of us make assumptions and we run with what we know on somebody selling their home without asking them, well, why am I here in the first place? Like, I'm here. Why am I here? If you're selling your house, what are you trying to accomplish? And it could be their roof is just crap and they have to do it to get their house sold. They could be, hey, I'm trying to get the most out of my house and I'm considering replacing my roof. Or, hey, I'm selling it to my brother. So it could be, there's all kinds of things and we don't know, and we make assumptions, and I don't know what they say about assuming, because I don't like to say that stuff in public, but we don't want to do that. So we have to ask those questions. Once we get that answer, then we'll know how to actually present to them and direct them and give them a solution that works for them. Hey, if they want the cheapest roof they can put on to get it to sellable, we can do that. That's okay. I don't mind selling that job, but I'm not going to go that route. I'm going to show them all the options and let them choose. I'm still going to go do what I do, right? I'm still going to say, hey, here's all the cool stuff. But with that knowledge now, I can say, hey, you're selling your house. I want to show you these other options, because when you go to sell your house, instead of adding 50% and to the cost of doing this thing and losing 30 on a $20,000 roof, maybe we can add 20. Maybe we can add 20 to the equation because you have this new amazing roof on it. And let them decide, hey, I want the good one, the better one, or the best one. And that works pretty well. It goes over pretty good. So Jake Dempsey says, I have been seeing a lot of comments as of recent from contractors that are working so hard to get a better scope from the insurance company, only to have the customer hire a cheaper contractor. This isn't just a sales problem. This is a process problem too. How do contractors address this? Go to Top Rep. Duh. Yeah, exactly. Yep, that's exactly the answer, Jake. Come to Top Rep. We don't need to talk about it anymore. We'll show you there. No, let's talk about that a little bit. So I'm a contractor. I have an insurance restoration job, and it comes back from the insurance company. It's not where I need it to be to do the work. This is actually a big part of what we teach at Top Rep, because this has become a massive problem, especially over the last 5 years. Denials, delay, defend, cheap, all that stuff. The insurance companies are fighting back, and they're fighting back hard. And we need to change the dialogue. We need to change the rules. We need to take ownership back over of this industry, of what we do. You hear a lot about it nowadays of what is it called? What's Jim Silver's thing called? One industry, one model. One industry, one model. which it is the model. It's the original model. It is what we were and who we are and what we should be. We're contractors. We should be able to say, this is what our roof costs. That thing you have on your house is the cheapest possible thing somebody could put on. If you want us to go back with that, we certainly can. But hey, let's do something special. You got a great down payment. You got a great down payment from your roof, or an awesome coupon for this better and best roof. And so we teach how to reposition that selling thought, be a little bit more in the retail world, but not hard. It's just learning a new skill, and it's something that can be learned very fast. And it's amazing how the environment changes for a company. They go, oh, cool. Like, we can actually sell it. I see so many contractors go out there and here's the scope, right? I got a scope, 30-year dimensional, whatever, blah, 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 blah. All right, here's our 30-year, Mrs. Jones. So which color do you want? Okay, let's go with that one. And boom, they go and put it on. Why? Like, you didn't even offer them the chance to get an impact resistant or a designer, or who knows, stone coated steel, or some type of composite. Well, why are you not giving them the opportunity to give you more money? I don't understand. Like, you wouldn't sell me. I would be like, I don't ever want to deal with that again. And there's a lot of people out there that are thinking that. So when we start to give them some options and saying that that money from their insurance company isn't what it is that we're showing them, it makes a massive difference. And you'd be surprised how many people, because we don't position it from good, better, best, we position it from best, better, good. And we all know, as human buyers, we want the best. And what we found is that 60% of the people will buy better, but you're out there selling good. We're beating you every day in competition. We're making more money in less time and delivering an experience that a customer wants. We want to teach more people how to do that. We want to make it easy. So, Jake, I hope I answered your question. Neat. I'm glad you got that from the insurance. I'm not supposed to negotiate with them. Let's get you on the board. This is what it's going to cost to replace your roof. We can finance that thing, send the invoice to the insurance company. Hey, insurance company, this is my invoice to do my work. And they go, whoa, what are you talking about? I need to call that contractor. Calls the contractor. He goes, hey, contractor, I got an invoice from my customer saying that this is what you did the roof for, but you didn't get approval. Guess what? I did too. I got it from the homeowner, my customer, the person that owns the home that says, I want that roof. Why are you calling me? Why are you talking to me? I'm not even supposed to talk to you guys. I think there's this like weird like acronym UPPA or something. I'm not supposed to negotiate or like, yes, this is my price for a roof. They said yes. We did it. End of story. And it's a lot of fun. I promise you. We can teach you in detail how to do that, make that easy, enjoyable, a lot of fun for the client, and set the expectations appropriate with them. And that phone call is a fun phone call for anybody dealing with insurance companies. And even better than all of that, using something like Moment and getting it financed, I get paid. I get paid now. My sales rep gets paid. I get paid as the owner. Anybody else earning commissions off that job gets paid now and doesn't wait 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, half a year to get depreciation, all the other stuff that goes along with it. We help facilitate it with the customer, but we don't own it anymore. And it is amazing. People have bought into it. It's going to change an industry, and we're all doing it together. We all believe it. Let's be a contractor again. It's not that hard. Top rep, life-changing, sign up, learn from the best. Jeremy Steele. Hi, thanks, brother. I appreciate that. Good to have you on board today. Any others? Like, those are a couple of really good ones. Objection on selling my home, and then contractors working with insurance companies not getting the scope right, and then some low price leader walks in and steals the job away from you because they're selling on price, not value. And you didn't sell on value either, which is why they got it away from you. We want to teach you how to do that. Any other questions, anything like that? So I want to make sure that we don't miss some people. And what I'm talking about there is we have some pretty amazing sponsors. Leap is one of those sponsors. They come out They teach about how using proposals will help you close at a higher percentage. It's been awesome to watch and see the difference that that's made for people. And then we have Rilla Voice. And if you haven't heard of Rilla Voice yet, you've got to hear about these guys. This was something that I thought of a long time ago. Technology just wasn't there yet. But I thought, there should be some artificial intelligence on this whole sales thing. Like, we're doing the same thing. It's something that's repeatable. It's a process. We should have some kind of software that listens to it and says, you're doing it right or you're doing it wrong. Well, that's been created. And it's taking what is being done right and being done well and pushing that upstream for everybody else to learn from. And certainly you can go to Rilla and get it for your company, but Top Rep has a version of Rilla that is Top Rep. It's Top Rep Copilot. And so we're not just comparing against our own guys, we're comparing against all the Top Reps, thousands of guys that have come to Top Rep and learned, and makes all of our teams better. So come learn about Rilla and sales artificial intelligence. It is, you guys are sales leaders that are running out there every day trying to be with your sales team. You can't be with all of them, especially if you have a big team and you always have other things that you need to do. It's doing the job for you. It's got analytics behind it. Just like Engage has analytics about how much time we're spending on certain things in our presentation, what's working, what isn't, combined with Rilla, absolute killer in closing deals. So Rocky says, what separates the very successful companies from the not so successful companies? John, you want to take a stab at that one? And Rocky, I may need some clarification because there are lots of things. But I think I could hone in on a couple myself. But are we talking about in sales? Are we talking about as a company? Like, what's that? So if you want to give me some clarity, but John, take a stab at what separates the very successful companies from the not so successful companies.
Focus. I think that if it's up to me, I just want to be clear, Rocky, is this Rocky? Am I talking to Rocky?
It is the Rocky, yes. It is the Rocky.
Man, I love when it comes, and we made this. I made this comment in our last session that Rocky is such a great salesperson because he has this unique ability to push back and to ask a good, tough, timely question, right? And this is what a better example than this right here. If I had, listen, I say focus, and what I mean by focus is an understanding of what we are really good at, who we are, who we help, and the problems that we solve, right? And when we grasp that, and we say this is what we're going to focus on and do better than everybody else, it separates us from everybody who's trying to do it. That would be my gut instinct answer, Jim.
How about you, Chuck? Where are you at on what separates the successful from the not so successful?
So a very close friend of mine and mentor, Brian Gottlieb, he's like the godfather of home improvement. He that's where I get this, we're going to take this to the next level and we're going to make this a training organization. And so if you're the good companies from the excellent companies or from the average companies to the successful companies, they turn their organizations into a training organization, not just the sales team, but the phone staff and the production staff. That is so important because everything becomes stale at some point. And before you know it, everybody thinks that they're just coming to work. They have a job. But if they're being trained and they're having fun because they have the latest training available, such as Top Rep, then things become fun because you win. Winning becomes success.
Yeah, I don't care what anybody says. The whole everybody gets a trophy thing sucks. I like winning. I can't, here's the funny thing. You got all these little kids out there playing some sport that you're coaching and stuff like that, and you're not keeping score, right? Like, there's no score. Every one of those kids knows the score, I guarantee you. And every one of the parents in the stands knows the score too, because they're all keeping it. Everybody, and it's more fun to win than it is to lose. Now, we can actually absolutely learn from losing. So Rocky says, generally speaking, about this sales culture, everything. And what separates the 20 million from a 2 million? So I think that was really good by John and Chuck. I would agree with a lot of that, maybe to tie it up a little bit here. And in John's world, focus, this absolute belief that you're going to accomplish something. There's no doubt you will persevere, you will stick to it. It's worthy of chasing. Like, that leader has to have that first. If he has that first, he will create a culture of the best. Like, that's what he's after, is being the best. And he'll do that by training. He will install training, and he will enforce training, and he will demand training and challenge people to train and get better every day. Because if you don't look at your business as what it really is, and it can be different things for different people. Some people look at their business as a sales and marketing organization. Some people look at their business as a recruiting organization. Some people look at their business as a training organization. I looked at my business as a sports team. I got a sports team. We're going to install the fundamentals. We're going to build the skills. We're going to install a strategy, and we're going to freaking win. And part of that strategy was the best damn training on the face of the planet. We're going to beat everybody because we will train harder, train better, because it's what I know. I come from a sports background. So does John. And the thing I knew that separated me from the other players on the team is when practice was over, they left. So whatever you guys are doing out there in your trainings that are once a week, or when we have a problem, that's what we see most often. The guys that are doing the thing on their own are the guys that are winning. That's who your top reps are. They're out there going and they're getting the learning from somewhere else that isn't you. They're trying everything they can. They're hopping on Facebook, YouTube, reading books, doing that kind of thing. Why wouldn't we facilitate that to fit our process? Why wouldn't we say, hey, we want to provide that to you. We want to see you grow. We want to see you achieve great things, become a master of what you do. Let's train every day and let's make it fun. I don't care if it's 15 minutes, an hour, 30 minutes, whatever it is. Let's do that, because if we do that, nobody else is. Every day that we train that they aren't, we're winning. And boy, you get that culture going, you're unstoppable. And that's the difference between a $20 million company and a $2 million company. Rocky, to answer your question, you can see I'm pretty passionate about that one.
I'm going to botch it, but I love. There's a quote. Man, I'm going to botch it, but it's a quote from Warren Buffett, and it's the difference between successful people and very successful people is that very successful people say no almost all the time. Yeah, I love that.
They say no to distractions. Anything that keeps them off their focus. No, I'm not going to watch TV tonight. I'm going to go read a book on sales. I'm going to go read Jeffrey Gitomer's little red book of sales.
I'm not going to do something. Yeah.
They say, no, I'm not going to sleep and lay around in bed till 10 o'clock on Saturday morning, and then goof off in my yard until 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then go hang out with my buddies and do all that stuff on Saturday. I'm going to go where people are, which is their homes on Saturday. And I'm going to go meet them, because Saturday is freaking money day. That's the day to close deals. And so they say no to the things that keep them from their success and achievement and their path. They say yes to those things that they're focused on achieving. Now, Rocky gave us the muscles, right? 75 hard coming out there. Anybody that joined late, we want to show you something. Like, should we show it to him again? Like, anybody that maybe hasn't seen it just yet? Because Jeremy Steele, I think, hopped on late.
I want to see it again. Yeah.
All right. So this is what people are going to win. Well, one person is going to win. The best of the best, the top rep in Philly. Let's see, I get it in front of the camera. There we go, right there. The title belt, the top rep rush title belt. It's pretty badass. I cannot wait to see that get put on somebody. I'm probably gonna have to wear it first though, just to test it, make sure it works, right? So, anybody else got any questions on sales? Like, let's talk sales. Hey, here's my question back to you guys. Do you like this? Like, what if we hopped on once a week and let's answer sales questions? Let's solve problems. Let's give you what you need to be better out there. Would you like us to go live and do that kind of stuff? We'll let you guys kind of comment. We'll let you ask any other questions you may have. We'll hold on for another couple minutes here. This went way longer than I was thinking. I thought it was going to be like 15 minutes. So I'm glad to be here. Glad to be helping you guys. We want to see you be successful.
Yes.
Chuck, any final comments?
And the people that are signing up and the people that are talking about signing up, this is going to be, I know that we talked about Denver being one of the highest rated, and so is Dallas. But I think Philly, we've got some absolute studs coming to this, which I'm really, really excited about.
Competition is going to be good. It's going to be thick. And I think there's going to be a surprise. I think there's going to be several black shirts that probably come back to try and win. And just so everybody knows, black shirts, you can compete all you want and all that other good stuff. You cannot get the title and as a free attendee. Just want to be clear, want to set proper expectations. But there's going to be some people that show up that nobody's ever heard of. They're new. They've been learning. They've been practicing. And they're going to come in and kick the doors up. They've gotten the pivot point cards. They've been and seen what's going on. They're learning from the teams that have been there. They're going to come back and put the beat down on some people, I think. I'm excited. I want to see those dogfights. I want to see people working hard. I want to see people take that away and install it into their businesses because it makes it fun. Like it's more enjoyable. All right. I didn't see any more questions. I did see a bunch of people say, I'm in for a top rep. So once again, guys who just joined us, if you're digging what you're hearing, you want to change your path, you want to go over the goal line, win the championship at Top Rep Rush by selling more than you ever thought you'd sell for the year, making the last quarter of your year the best quarter of your year, go to topreptraining.com, use the coupon code RUSH100, save $100 off of each person. The price goes up every 2 weeks as we approach. We want to get you guys in early so we have a good amount of number that we can prepare for you guys well. We don't like trying to scramble at the last second to try and make the thing great because we had 100 people sign up in the last 2 weeks. So we want to make sure we get you guys now, get you ready, get you planned, you're ready to go. Show up a day early, come hang out with us. We're going to go to Freedom Hall, we're going to go to Liberty Bell, we're going to go do some of that stuff. And that's why we're doing this. The reason we're doing this is we want you guys to have financial and personal freedom to do what you want, when you want, with who you want. And you can do that as a salesperson because salespeople is the highest paid profession on the planet. We can be paid very well in this industry. I know several reps, not just one, but several reps that make 7 figures a year. They don't sell 7 figures, they make 7 figures. And we want to teach you guys how to do that. All the owners are like, I love that because I want that guy to make 7 figures because I know what he sold. So that's a lot of fun. John, any final words as MC? You're coming to bring your game. I know you do some things there that are a lot of fun for the people that are attending. Any final words?
Well, yeah. First off, if you're on the fence, if you're questioning whether or not this is for me, there are very few opportunities. I think, regardless of whatever industry, whatever your field is, there are very few opportunities to get in front of somebody that speaks with the authority and experience and success that Jim and Chuck do. They speak from. This is something to take advantage of. And secondly, I spoke about energy earlier of the event, from the event, and everybody that's there. Drink your coffee. Drink your coffee. Be ready to bring it. If you don't, I can only bring so much, but you're going to fall behind. Like, let's go. If you're coming.
Yeah, Chuck, who do they work for 2 days?
Us. That's game day construction. It's all us.
Yeah, it's our 2 days. You work for us. You don't work for whoever you're working for right now. You work for us, and we are going to challenge you. We're going to push you. We are going to make you better because that's our job. We're coaches. We want you to lead with the strategy so you can go and win each and every time you get in front of a homeowner, and win the right way. Win the right way, because there's a right way and a wrong way to doing it. Want to make it easy, fast, fun, enjoyable. And we want your customer, like, for you to be able to walk into the grocery store and high five them, hug them, and they say, hey, it was great working with you, not hide my head and, that type of thing. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll see you guys there. topreptraining.com. Save $100 if you get signed up in the next 2 hours with the coupon code RUSH100. If you have any questions, private message myself or Chuck or John or Pat Sheehan with us. If you're friends with him on Facebook, reach out to us and just say, hey, I want to talk to somebody about this. I need to understand more than what Chuck and Jim and John told me. Got some questions. We're here for you. Private messages. We'll get you with Pat, and he'll solve all your problems. We'll get you a top rep, and we're going to make your team top reps. We're going to make your team the team that everybody in your market talks about. Like, God, I hate competing against those guys. They kick our butt. So that's what we're here to do. Thanks, everybody. That's the end of our live today. We'll catch you next week. We did have quite a few people say, yes, we want you guys to do some live stuff. So we'll do some more live stuff. We'll come back next week, and we'll pick a topic. Maybe I'll throw it out there on Facebook and say, hey, we're going to talk about something in sales. What do you want to talk about? And let you guys direct what it is that we're going to talk about. Thanks for being here today. We'll see you later. Kick some butt out there. Make every day 1% better. We'll see ya. Bye.